Get ready for your daily dose of marketing strategies and tactics from entrepreneurs with the guile and experience to help you find success in any marketing capacity. You're listening to Marketing School with your instructors, Neil Patel and Eric Su.
Welcome to another episode of Marketing School. I'm Eric Su.
And I'm Neil Patel.
And today we're going to talk about when you should actually give up on a marketing campaign. So most marketing campaigns or even most marketing tests are going to fail. The question is, when should you just basically throw in the towel and give up? I think there's a lot of different examples we can go through here, but for me, it's very simple. We test something for a month or two and we don't see an ROI past like a certain budget, or we don't see traction. If we're trying to aim for a specific goal, we're not getting there, then we're going to cut it and try to reevaluate. So I think the first thing to say is you need to have very specific goals and objectives first, and you need to have a timeline where you can talk about setting SMART goals. I'm not even going to try to list all of those, but you can Google it, SMART goals. You want to set those initially, and then from there, you can figure out, should you continue or should you redo it or should you just shut it down, right? Neil?
The big thing that I think about when it comes to marketing campaigns is mindset. People have the wrong mindset in which they're like, all right, when should I just shut it down and call it a day? With marketing, it's all about testing. Just because you tried something once doesn't mean it won't work again in the future. There could be a different angle that you could take, a different approach. Someone else could know something that you don't. I look at marketing campaigns as, if it's not working within the first 2 months, I pause it, not necessarily shut it down. Pause it means you spend nothing and you move on to something else. The reason I like using the word pause instead of shutting it down is because then in the future, if you want to come back to it and take a different perspective on it, great, you can try that out. A lot of times I feel that things fail, but a year later, I've learned so much more about marketing. I was like, oh, I was off. A good example of this is one of the biggest failed marketing campaigns that I've done in the past was spending money on branding, doing a ton of banner ads. And you know what? Didn't generate any more money. People saw the company. They saw the name everywhere, but it didn't generate $1 more in revenue. On the flip side, if you fast forward 6 years, I kid you not, 6 years, because that was the last time I tried the branding campaign, I started doing branding again, and now it's giving the biggest ROI that I've ever experienced in marketing. The difference is I've just learned how to do branding better than 6 years ago. Plus, new channels, new media sites that are out there, new options. So it allows me as a marketer to try different things with branding. So I didn't shut that marketing campaign down when it came to branding years ago. In essence, I paused it. So that's the mindset that you need to get into. Just because something's not working right now doesn't mean it won't work in the future. So should you keep spending money on it? In the short run, no, pause it. Move on to something else. Give it a few months. If you can't make something work in a few months, then move on, assuming the marketing campaign you're working on isn't a long-term play. For example, SEO, everyone knows is a long-term play. Content marketing, everyone knows is a long-term play. Social media marketing, again, everyone knows it's a long-term play. But the moment you can spend money on like paid acquisition, those are short-term plays where you should be able to get an ROI within a few months.
That's what it is, right? It's a science, right? You're constantly iterating over time. You don't necessarily need to say, okay, I'm not going to come back to it. We tried it. That's the interesting thing. Like when I speak to clients, prospective clients on the phone sometimes, they say, well, we've tried that content marketing thing and it didn't really work out for us. We did, 4 blog posts a month and we tried it for 6 months and it just didn't really get us anywhere. So content marketing doesn't work for us. And it's pretty damning when you have that kind of mindset where it's just like, we tried and then we're not going to try it again, right? Because marketing is when you're doing an A/B test, right? You're iterating. When you're changing a copy on something, you're iterating. When you're doing a redesign, you're still iterating, right? You're always iterating. So to have that kind of mindset where it's just like completely shuts everything off, that's going to hurt your business in the long run. And to give you an example on the other side, when I think about the days of when I was at Treehouse, when I was looking at the numbers, we actually had traction for a lot of different things, but the best traction was through YouTube advertising. And for whatever reason, it was shut down because, well, it was quote unquote unprofitable. But what they didn't see was that, it was actually getting better and better, which is actually what the goal is. When you're starting out with an advertising campaigns, especially when you're starting out fresh, in the first 2 to 3 months, you might not figure it out. It might take a little longer to figure it out. Especially in our case, it was our first time doing YouTube ads, so we spent considerably more money to get it working. But once you have it working really well, you're going to spend a lot less. your costs are going to get a lot less too, and then your engagement's going to go higher, and it's just going to get better because you're constantly iterating over time, and you're not being closed-minded to new ideas out there. And the clients that work the best with us are the ones that are willing to revisit things, retest things, and not be so closed-minded to think that they know everything, because in reality we all know nothing. It's just a matter of trial and error.
Always put a time limit on whatever you're doing. You can give it 2-3 months, 6 months, whatever it may be. For the short-term approach stuff, I like putting 2 months. As Eric mentioned, if you're seeing progress, always you can extend it out. But if you're not seeing progress, put a hard stop at roughly 2 months. If you're continually seeing progress and you think you can make it profitable, then drag it out until it becomes profitable. But if it flatlines after a few more months and you still can't figure it out, then stop it. For the long-term organic stuff, give it 6 months to see traction. If you can't figure out how to make a positive ROI within 12 months, can it? But those are the rough timelines that we put internally.
All right, that's it for today's episode of Marketing School. We'll see you tomorrow.
This session of Marketing School has come to a close. Be sure to subscribe for more daily marketing strategies and tactics to help you find the success you've always dreamed of. And don't forget to rate and review so we can continue to bring you the best daily content possible. We'll see you in class tomorrow, right here on Marketing School.